Los Angeles' greatest heat wave is upon us, and since we're in a lower-class, Commonwealth, grind-till-you-die, no-chance-for-parole location, of course, the office AC finds a way to break. Ugh! What are you doing?
Just airing out the crack, dude. It's hot in here.
Disgusting is what I thought at first. Next, I thought of poor Autumn, succumbing to microscopic particles of Kib's nutsack floating around her head. And then I tried it for myself, and everything changed. Oh!
Yeah, it feels nice.
This is amazing. How does nobody...
He pulls down the sack crack.
Aloha.
James!
Welcome back.
Well. If it isn't, Doctor, I need a week off for an important mission that's actually just a trip to Hawaii with my girlfriend, PhD.
This is actually a little sacred plant that I brought back from Hawaii. They call it a ukulele leaky.
How was your time there?
Oh my god, dude, it was so relaxing, transcendent in a way.
Oh, did you think about profound things?
No, I just had the shits for like a lot of the time. I got fucked up.
Hey, boop, I missed you, dude.
Okay, on the island, touching people's faces without them knowing is considered acts of violence.
Okay, I have no interest in harming you in any way. I just want you to know that.
Well, don't touch his fucking face.
But
Then.
look,
It's all.
look, it's very humid in here. Reminds me of the island.
The AC's broken.
Wow, I dig it though. It's kind of like a really nice transition, kind of like a water birth. Like when a baby's born into a bathtub, it's supposed to match the womb. I kind of feel like a newborn in a way.
Did you learn any like fun words or anything? You teach us?
There's Hanapepe. Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
I don't know, it's the name of a town. There's Poipu, which is the little town that I stayed in. Sheraton Beach.
James went to film school, so it's pretty clear he's used to not learning anything. Speaking of which, it's also pretty clear he didn't learn any Hawaiian language. I asked if there was at least one thing he picked up from Hawaii in general. Some principle of the land, some moral the Hawaiian people hold true.
There's one thing I learned on the island. Put yourself first, and you put others first. Everyone's first.
So how do you put yourself first and others first at the same time?
Just do it.
Dumb question. Honestly.
Okay, kid, you put yourself first and others first right now.
Guys,
Do you want the Hanaliki Lulu
I'd
on
love
your...
for me to have it and for you to have it.
That's how you do it. Because on the island, there's a very simple thing. It's called
Lalakalaka.
coexistence. Okay, coexistence means you don't need to choose.
Don't need to choose. You don't need to...
I don't understand, for the life of me, why Kib always feels like he has to ride on the coattails of other people's experiences. He's clearly never been to Hawaii. I know that for a fact. Kib's been to the United States, he's stayed in Canada for most of his life, and he's been to London for a terrible breakup, leaving him stranded for 2 months. But fuck that bitch. You've never been to Hawaii. I don't understand how you know their culture.
Let me stop you there. I've been to Hawaii.
Name one place in Hawaii.
Honolulu, the
Pedofolo?
capital.
No, that was just you saying pedophile differently.
Pedophilia Lily.
No, okay, there's not two places on Hawaii
And
called
you know when you wear that little girl's skirt on your ankles?
I was done hearing about wearing little girls' skirts. It was time to finally approach James with something that's been eating at me for a while. I am a little, upset with you, of course.
About what? Oh,
Well, you know I have fine friends, and I can see your Instagram.
I didn't think of that.
I just feel a little betrayed in a way, because, you know, we're trying really hard here to get this to work, and you're out there having a blast.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I just needed a break, man.
A break. You have the easiest job on the planet.
No, I don't.
Name one thing hard about your job.
It's hot in the office.
Since you got back! I had him cornered. James offered me his hat, made out of an old Hawaiian woman's braids.
Does it actually look good?
Looks really good. You look like a Vietnamese farmer.
I just don't feel like this is an appropriate gift for skipping out on us for a week. I mean, you said that you were gonna be going on missions. Really cool shit in Hawaii, and he was on vacation.
I didn't even
The
get a
entire
fucking
time.
hat.
I was gonna do a little bit of training today.
Water
If you
warrior
guys wanna-
training?
You know it.
Holy
If you guys wanna tag along.
Yeah! Wait, no! No! No, it's opposite day. Wait, yeah, you do! Yes, I do! I'd love to! Really? Wait! No, wait, no. Wait, yes! Yes!
I don't know, actually.
Do you think we can come?
I would love for you guys to come.
Yes! Yes!
We'll come.
All right, you guys ready for this?
I'm so excited.
I know you've been
dude.
really interested in my level H water warrior status.
What's level H?
What's level H?
A stencil hooligan. Just kidding, it's like Alfred Chrono lower order.
Okay, Law and Order, yeah.
I'm gonna be going through fast swimming,
Okay.
slow swimming, fake drowning, and water walking with
I'm-
no water moccasins.
What? I'll be honest, I was just trying to be nice. None of what James said even sounded remotely true, and I've been doubting the whole Water Warriors thing for a while.
There's no water moccasins in there?
No, there's none. I'm gonna show you how to water walk without
There
water
are no
moccasins.
water moccasins.
I think that it just would be more like scary if we put a couple moccasins in the water.
Moccasins?
No water moccasins.
You're so strong. You're so strong.
Cool.
You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right.
Do you think you could teach me how to swim?
No, you're not allowed to swim.
I never learned. Oh, a nickel. Did you drop it?
Fast swimming. Salty.
It's not a salt pool.
Slow swimming.
The training was going exactly how I thought it would. It was impossibly hard to believe that Water Warriors was a real thing. Watching James do these laps was embarrassing. That was really good.
Was it?
Yeah. I didn't have the heart to tell him that it wasn't really good. It was one of, if not the worst, displays of motor skills I've ever seen. Yet the fact that he was going through all of this just to cover for all of his lies that I believe lead back to laziness was impressive. What'd you think about that one?
That was sick, dude. That was super good.
Simple as that, because what that does is simulates surfacing during a storm.
And schmoccasins behind you?
There's no schmoccasins.
Okay.
Okay, let's head to the next mental training.
Mental? What is that gonna do?
Oh, we'll see. I want you.
It's an interrogation, isn't it? I could tell by the look on James's face, it was an interrogation.
So you guys want to know what interrogation is like?
More than anything.
Whoa, sure. James. Where were you the night of the 4th of July?
Watching fireworks.
I got intel that says you're not such a good boy after all.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Gerald.
no.
Defend yourself. What now? Do it now. Ow, but that's not part of this.
Why'd you get the close to his junk?
Well, I had to intimidate his head and his helmet.
No, but
That's that. Yeah, cuff the guy.
Okay, I don't have cuffs.
Hold the hands in. Okay.
Yeah, okay, fine.
There. Ow!
God.
God, he's good.
So the main thing about interrogating is when you're questioning somebody, you already know the answer. So you're trying to get that answer out of them.
That was actually a very good lesson. Ask them a question you already know the answer to. Is the Water Warriors real?
Why would you? Well,
Yeah, is it?
why would you ask me that? What? This is what I thought. Yeah, I'm showing you guys all.
Or have you been lying to me this entire time?
Give me one good reason why you doubted.
Hawaii.
That was a lie.
Second good reason. Swimming pool thing was complete bullshit.
It looked so stupid. It looked like you were doing nothing. You were doing laps in a pool poorly. A good swimmer would be laughing at you. James never answered the question, but another way to get to the truth was having him question me. If I told him a lie or the truth and he got it wrong, I would know for sure that he doesn't really have the skills he's been talking about this entire time.
Are you really part of the 1%?
Yes.
That was honest.
James was telling the truth. He's definitely part of the Water Warriors. Damn, he's good.
I gotta get going.
Why?
Thank you guys for this. This was... Oof. Woo-wee.
Since James was pretty clearly exactly what he said he was, we met up the next morning for the final Water Warriors training segment.
All right, so I brought you guys out here to this field. I'm gonna show you guys how to shoot.
Hey, don't get sunburned.
Yuck. Oh.
All right.
Don't get sunburned.
Stop touching me.
Sorry.
3, 2, 1.
Ow!
It doesn't give me time to close my ears at all.
Damn
Yeah, you're
it,
holding the camera.
dude.
Kid, put the gun down.
I'm putting the gun down.
Gun down.
I'm putting the gun
That's a real loaded gun. You don't know how to fuck to use it. Put it down. Put it down.
I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down.
How'd you dodge those?
That's right. I have training too, little girl. Is this a Water Warriors trick?
It looked so real, and it must have been. He got the question right about me being in the 1%. James was a Water Warrior, and Kib was the dumbest man I've ever met.
You know what these double as? Spears.
Don't you.
And he's fucking wasted, dude. Oh, God. Oh, no, dude.
So this is. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry.
So I set up a dummy out there, and I'm gonna shoot it, and I'm gonna get it in one shot, and that's gonna show you guys how to shoot in one shot.
Me, right?
No.
Okay.
The dummy's Kib.
No, are you actually aiming at Kib?
me, dude.
All right, look, dude, that's okay. It wasn't a bullet. It was a little needle filled with apple juice.
That's not just a sugar.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
You're welcome, buddy. Do you want me to shoot you too?
Oh, no.